Hey everyone, welcome to another video, guys. In this video, I'm just gonna run through the different things that I've learned so far, and I have notes prepared right here. So let's get started. Okay. So first of all, we know the basic commands. Obviously, just making a folder. Like, let's say, for example, right now I'm in the root directory, so I'm just gonna call it. If I do ls, I can see what's inside this. I can change my directory to a different folder. So now I'm in the desktop folder, and I can make files. Obviously, this is just a just you get the point. So I can just do test, and boom, just like that. I can do touch, which is to create a file. So it's like a text file. So it's a hello.txt. And now I have hello.txt. I can change the permissions of this by clicking on just doing plus over here and then doing hello.txt. And oops, I just did triple L's. Boom. And now you can see the permissions adjusted from normal to higher privilege. So I can do the same thing except with a minus to take it back to normal privilege. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's move on. So now what we're going to do next is pretty much we're going to explore one more thing. So you can do net discover, for example. Okay, so this is if you want to specify a certain port. I can do eth0. Sorry, let me just do device. There we go, device. So it's a net discover. I and then eth0. So okay, I think I need to run this as root. So let's do Kali, and then let's do net discover I. And that's going to be what was it? Yeah, eth0. So eth0, let me show you guys where I get this from. So if you do ifconfig, you can see the different stuff that are running on your computer, for example. And you can see that this is my Ethernet, so that's what we're connected to right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this, okay, with that information. We're going to run that specifically. So you see when I say eth0, I'm running it specifically on the Ethernet because that's what that's what I'm dealing with here, right? So that's this in this case, it would recon what's on my local network that's connected to this local network, and it would pretty much find find certain IPs, okay? So the point of finding IPs, I'll show you guys what this is, okay? So we did this thing called port scanning, for example. Let's say, for example, nmap, right? So there's ports from 0 to 65,535, but over here we're only going to highlight the top 1,000 ports, and we're going to say this is in flag right here. So it's like we're saying give me everything in terms of like operating systems and everything, like ports, operating systems, and any other information. Just bring me all of that information. That's what we're saying over here with this 8, right? So that's what we're doing here. So let's just run this. T4 is not really an argument right here. I'm giving this wrong, but T4 generally stands for the highest speed of execution for port scanning, right? So the reason why I'm doing this is this right here, there are DNS servers behind it, okay? So we also do this thing called where the fuck did it go? Okay. I don't know where it went, so let me just run this. So we do this thing called DNS recon, and we give it a directory. So I can just do /help if I want to get the commands that are responsible for it. So let me just do it again. And you can see if I give it /d, I can do domain, for example. So it's a DNS recon d, and then I could do this. So that way it would start looking for IP addresses behind this URL. Okay, so as you can see, we're getting a bunch of different IPs. So we also do this thing. So the point of this is to make sure we use this IP to so over here it's going to start looking for ports under these IPs. Okay, so the idea is to use Metasploit. This the way you're going to do this is using MSF console. Okay, so once you run MSF console, so we can also do this thing called search exploit. So let's say, for example, SMTP, that's a type of service. Okay, so I think on port 25, it's usually SMTP that's open on, for example, on what's the word for it? On FireFactory.com. That's the usual, right? So if I want SMTP, I can just search exploit SMTP, and I can be a little more specific with the A tag. Okay, like for example, when you do A tag, you can get more specific data about which type of SMTP that's running on that server, on the port number. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to wait for this to complete. So as you can see, it's 96% complete, and I'm going to wait for this to complete. So we have DNSs, as you can see, we have a bunch of DNS addresses, and with that out the way, yeah, so we have the DNS recon. So what we can also do is there's two types of approaches in terms of the directory scanning. You can use GoBuster. So dirbuster is like a one with the UI. So this will open up the UI, as you can see. So I can just give it like FireFactory.com, for example, and I can paste it here. And I can use the word list. Now this is called a fuzzing list. It's a GitHub directory. So over here, if you go to this URL, it will give you the common words that I use for directory scanning. So you just need to copy and paste this into a word list. And once you copy and paste it, I have it on my desktop. So I'm going to select, actually I don't think I have it on my desktop. Let me desktop, and I think it was derp. Yeah, derp right here. I have that. I have basically the contents from this in that text file right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that. I'm going to select that's list-based brute force, and yeah, so I can just select more threads for quicker execution. This is default. By default, it's port 80 because it's HTTPS. That would be, I think, port 435. I'm not too sure. Let's click on start, and we can give it an error message. For example, if it defaults to certain errors, then we can give that message. That way it starts scanning. So as you can see, it says return code. This is the message that we're getting. So I'm going to grab this message right here, and I need to set that as an exception to get through next time. And you can see that I'm getting access to a lot of different contents inside this file. So I could access this from here. So we can see that there's different files from here, and we could dump all this data to a directory, and then we can access it from there. So I'm going to show you guys something else over here, right? So we see all these different services. So I'm assuming the scan for ports is okay. There we go. So you can see it says TCP wrapped. Okay, this is port 25. So you see it says TCP wrapped. Okay, so because it's TCP wrapped, there's also this thing called Nmap, which is Nmap but in the GUI. So TCP wrapped. Let's go on this one, and let's say, for example, search exploit SMTP TCP wrapped. I don't think that's really a thing. The TCP wrapped. The SMTP. I'm not really getting specific data over here, for example. So it's in SMTP TCP wrapped. So usually what we would do is we would use that with use the exploits with Metasploit, right? Metasploit is over. Let me show you guys. So over here. So if I do show exploits, and this is going to show me all the exploits. So if I do show exploits SMTP, it's going to show me SMTP based exploits, right? So pretty much we can do is show exploits. Let's say SMTP. show. I think it was part of exploits. Show exploits. Can I just do SMTP? Yeah, I think it should have detected it, but I guess it's not. So pretty much these are the different services that I could use under SMTP. I need to be a little more specific with it. So that's the problem. But it seems like it's not really recovering that. So there's also this thing called, I don't know if you guys know about this, but it's called Nicto. So if you do Nicto and then you do the host right here, and then you give this the host address, it will pretty much get you some data. For example, this data right here, this is very important. So instead of doing this like this, I can show you guys something else. And that's, let me show you guys. So over here, instead of doing that, I'm going to create a file. So let me just call it important.txt. If I do ls, as you can see we have the file. So what we're going to do is we're going to run the command for Nicto, except I'm going to echo or append this from, so I'm going to say do this and then append it to important.txt because we're in that path right here. So let's just say this is important.txt, so let's add it to that. And let's give it some time because it's going to take care of the procedures under the hood. That's because it's not showing it. It's going to append it directly to the file, right? So this seems like it's completed. We got a 200 over here, status 200. So these are okay. And what's this? So if I hit OK, all right. So I need to enter the errors, the usual errors. Say error. So if I hit OK, because this comes under, I don't think it exactly comes under error, but anyways, so pretty much, right? Time to finish. Okay, so I think it's over. So these are all different files you can access through. So this is the results in a proper organized manner. So you can go into different pages. You can try to exploit from there. Apart from that, you also have, let me just close this for now. You also have Coolbuster. Okay, let me show you. So this is the, like I said, this is the IPs. So you use this to find the ports and then open ports and then exploit ports. Let me show you something else. So you use Coolbuster and then you use, say Coolbuster. And you see the different commands under this. So let's say, for example, Coolbuster directory or yeah, so we can give it a directory. So this is for the derp.txt for the word list. And let's say, for example, let's say, I think we can do U under this. Different flags. So I want to use a flag that's responsive for, I think it was DNS. It wasn't DNS. I think it was one of these flags. I think it was it DNS? I don't think so. It was something else. I'm pretty sure. I don't see it here. But anyways, let's do DNS for example, and let's say for X factory. Let's say okay, I can just do this, right? All right. So let's just do URL. Can I do minus URL? Oh yeah, so I guess this is not the way to do it. Then let's just do word list. Seems like I'm getting something wrong here. But if I could, in fact, get this to work, that'd be much better. Factory.com. Doesn't seem like I can quite do it, so that's fucking annoying. But anyways, just, apart from that, right? So these are the paths that are within the Buster. So that's basically what we scanned earlier. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to also use fuck, I just fucked up. Anyways, Buster, what else do we have? Buster, Sublister. So Sublister is also a pretty good tool. You can give it the domain, for example, right here. So ports, so specific ports if you want, if you have certain ports in mind through Nmap. So let's say, for example, Sublister, and let's say d or xfactory.com. And if I hit enter, it's going to do some enumerations. You can also use this thing called wayback URLs, but I don't really use it because it brings all the URLs from like way back, so I haven't had it probably installed as well. This seems like the only directory over here. So yeah, we need to, oh yeah, one more thing. Let me show y'all. So I think Nicto is probably done by this point. Let me show y'all. I mean, done a pending. One of these were pending onto it. Okay, so I think it's done. Error limit 20. If I do cat, I can display whatever I typed in. Let's say cat, important.txt. And if I do gedit important.txt, I could open it like this. And you can see that data has been appended onto the report itself, the text file. So you can see that there's multiple IPs, and these are IPv6 addresses right here, and these are IPv4 addresses. So this is the target IP, and this is the HTTPS. That's what we're seeing here, target port. And we are getting some information about this. We can also use this thing called Mapalizer. So I use forextractor.com for this example. So it's a small extension right here. When you're on your website, you can click this button, and you can see what the technologies has been used behind this. You can even export this and see what's going on here, and it will look something like this, just like that. And anyways, pretty much, guys. Apart from that, we also have, what else do we have? Let me just close this for now. Let me close these tabs for now. These are the DNSs, like I mentioned before. Yeah, so I'm going to show you guys just a dummy exploit. So it's a use exploits, and it's a 2459, and that's how we use this. Yeah, so there we go. So now we want to set a remote host. For example, you want to set which computer is connecting to your computer, and you also need to set which computer is setting to, so for example, if you don't have the IP, you want to make sure it executes in an automated basis, for example, right here. I have a script. So this one, what it does is it connects to my local computer. So for example, this is local host, and this is the local port. Okay, so we're opening a port on my local computer, as in this one. When this script is run on the target machine, which is technically my real computer, right? So let's say, I know it sounds a little confusing, but let's say over here, right? If I do with config, and keep in mind E0 is what I use as my Ethernet. So as you can see, we have this open, right? So what I'm going to do is I have to replace this. So as you can see, it's using the same one, local host, and we're using a port number 4444, right? So when we run this on my real computer, it's going to detect something like this. So if I do ipconfig on Windows, the config on Windows, you see I'm using Wi-Fi right here. So right here, so you see over here, wireless LAN Wi-Fi adapter. This is my IP. Okay, so pretty much it's going to be something like this. So it's going to set this remote hosts to. It's going to do this. Okay, so once this is done, okay, set our hosts. Okay, so once that is done, it's not really the best reading experience. There we go. So we will hosts. Okay, it doesn't seem like I have set the. I know I can't review. Anyways, let me restart that real quick. But you guys get the point. So if you run this right now, I can't run it because of this shell issue. If I double click on this, it's going to create this file. So that's this shell file. That's what this does, right? So if I let me show y'all. And so for example, if I run this. Where is it? There we go. So I can't run it right now because of my computer's problems. But what it does is under the hood, it will execute this payload, right? It will execute this payload for Windows computers. And this is the local computer, as in like this one, and the port number I wanted to connect on. So when this script is executed on the Windows computer, which is what this payload is specified for Windows computers, it's going to pretty much use TCP and reverse connect to my local computer, this one, okay? Which is pretty much the local host over here, right? So once we connect back from there, you can use this thing called meterpreter. So meterpreter is one of those things which you use with Metasploit once you get through Metasploit to access the remote computer. Once you use meterpreter, you can send files over and do a lot of different shit. So you can pretty much control the computer from a terminal, right? So let's say, for example, let me show you all something. Over here, so this is what I was talking about. Let me show you all something. So over here, right, you can use meterpreter and then you can start executing commands like this. You can download using the wget command. So this is limpiece. It gives you lets you do a lot of different things easily, and then you start a Python server to transfer things over back to your computer, and then you get this on your local on your attacker's computer, which is my local computer, and then you change the modification on that. So this is like giving it more administrative privileges, and you run it right like target machine, right, from the target machine. So you need to download limpiece, and then you need to make sure it sends like reports back, right? So limpiece will give you a pretty good understanding of what's vulnerable on your computer, and this is also there's also this thing called Hydra. So if you have the username and the password, you can easily iterate through it. So this is like this. You can use like a password list, for example, and a admin username list, and connect to a different protocol. So over here, it could be FTP or anything under this IP. Right? So like FTP transfer. So that will be FTP over here. You can append certain files like this, and it can just be like whatever file. Whatever file that's over here. So let's say over here. Say hello.txt, just like that. I could append this file, which is the hello.txt file, and I could send it over. But right now I don't have the right username and the password here. But let's say, for example, if I cat, I could see what's inside this file. So this is what's inside this hello.txt, this one. So this is what's inside the file. Apart from that, what else do we have? So wget is pretty much just to download files. So mget is, I think, download multiple files. So wget is just to download one file. So like if you want to pull from like a repository, for example. So once again, you can see that this. Right, so over here, what we're doing is we're trying to open a certain. So you can do this thing called nc. NC and LVNP, and then you can just do like specify a port number. Let's say 5000. So you can see it's open with port 5000, right? So if, for example, if I use Ubuntu over here, and then if I try to connect to this port number, so let's say NC connect port. Let's say for example, okay, let me just use if config 0. That's pretty much the Ethernet, and because on this I don't think so we have different. So it's just these two. So we're going to use this one, and we're going to use this one. So let's say, for example, NC connect. NC, I don't think you need to connect. And you can specify the port number. For example, in this case, it would be 5000. If I do 6000, for example, it's not going to let me connect. As you can see, there's nothing here. But if I do 5000, now, I think NC connect. Port number is invalid. Okay. NC connect. I don't think it's just 5000, for example. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think this is going to work. Let's just say NC help. And NC, let me just do something here. So let's say NC. Okay, so NC your Kali IP, right? And okay, so we need to execute this whole command. So let's say, in my case, it would be port 5000, and that would be this would be my Kali IP. So that would be about what? Yeah, I could do this the other way around as well. I could just do NC LV NP. Okay, so now we have this running. So now I could use NC. What was it? Let me try. NC your Kali IP. So let me just copy, and let me paste that here. And so for example, right here, 5000, and this is going to be my Kali IP. So my Kali IP, I think I need to specify. this one, so let's copy. I don't think I could connect like that, so I'm gonna try something here. So let's say if config equals 0, let me copy this real quick, and now let's run. Let's run something here. So let's say, for example, okay. So now let me look at the terminal, for example, and you see over here, it's connected over here. This is the, I'm assuming this is the port number, like to which port number it's connected to. So it's connected. So that's what we see. We don't see here, but let's say, for example, can I communicate with this? I think shell. Let's say echo hello world. Does that work? Hello world. It's not gonna really echo here, isn't it? Do like a different command. I don't think that's gonna. Yeah, it's not really echoing here, but it's just echoing it here. So I need to look into that. But anyways, so we can see that we did most of this, right? So once you connect back, you can set up a Python HTTP server. So once this connects back, you can set up a Python server and you can get you download it on the target machine, right? And once they execute, you can give it admin privileges and you can get it to run this. So pretty much it's to make sure that the other computer doesn't have an idea as to what's going on. So let's say Python 3 m http.server, and I think that should do the job. Okay, that's cool. How do I execute this properly? Python m http server. What's that? Python 3. I think it executed that this time. Yeah, should be. But now, let's say for example chmod. So I think wget slash my Kali IP. So that's going to be my local computer, isn't it? But on this case, I'm connected from the VM, I mean this command terminal. So I have to give it wget, and I'm gonna give it the linpssh GitHub repository. Let me try something here, guys. Give me a second. I'm just gonna wget from this. Oops. And that should download on this over here. So I'm assuming it's downloading over here. And once that is done, I'm assuming we should run. Yeah, I should run this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change this. Oh fuck! I think I canceled the connection. Actually, you know what? I want to do this the other way around. Okay. So I want to do this the other way around. It'll be np 6000, and let's get it to connect from this computer onto this one 6000. So let's say config 80 and a copy, and see, and then say we're gonna connect onto port number 6000. Now it's connected. Okay. So what we're gonna do is over here we're gonna say code. Hi. There we go. So it's executing this over here. So now we're going to try something here. Okay. We're going to say, we're going to create a CD into desktop, or let's say touch yikes.txt, and then let's say echo I'm awesome into yikes.txt. I'm saying a pin. Let's say cat yikes.txt. I don't think that's really executing here, but anyways, I can in fact use Python 3 server, so I could execute this the other way around pretty much and send files from here onto this. This is not really computers, it's just more of a terminal. It's not really ideal, but you guys get the point. So it's from the target machine, and you get that other computer connect to you, and then you send files across. That's the whole point. So anyways, so linpiece is like all in one report, so it's easy to grab data about the other computer. So you send linpiece to the other computer, you grab the data, you execute it, you grab the data, and then you get it back. And then once that is done, you should be able to. Burp Suite is also pretty cool. Like it's for intrusion. So Google is very simple. It's like setting site file type and all that, and so this is simple stuff. Burp Suite, this is easy. SQL injections, enumeration, port scanning, whois. So whois is actually really cool. Like let's say for example, value whois here, not here. Let's say whois. So you can just give whois or xfactor.com. I could just start, and I could connect back, and basically let's say for example whois or xfactory.com. Yeah, I don't think that's executing here. Let's say whois or xfactor.com. Let me try something here. So whois help, and you see the different commands that I could execute. So whois host of artfactory.com. What's this? All right. So let's say for example whois artfactory.com. So now we're getting some information, as you can see, right? So we're getting a lot of different information behind what's behind this website. So apart from that, we also have whois nmap, SQL injections, data gathering, FTP, Burp Suite. Burp Suite is like intrusion detection and stuff. Basic Linux commands, also listing like URLs, see connect, DNS recon, so that's for deep scanning for DNSs, cross-site scripting, Metasploit, SMB client, right, so Buster, Katana, ifconfig. Wait, what's IW config? Let's see. IW config. Isn't if? Oh wait, no. In this case, it's not ifconfig. Wait, this is ifconfig. I guess it's the same thing for wireless, I guess. This is for wired, I guess. So if I do iwconfig on here, wconfig, okay, it's not going to show me anything because there's nothing wireless extensions. Okay, there's no wireless extension. That makes sense. Config, so it's going to show me this for Ethernet. So what the 0 is. So this is for pinging a certain IP. So it's a maybe google.com. So it could just be like route. You could ping google.com. Oops. Route. Say for example. Google HTTPS also. Will that work? No. Okay, cool. Here's. Let's look up. I think this is for DNSs. I'm not too sure. Net discover. Okay, we're gonna make this root. So let's run this and let's say net discover I 0. And this is the same thing as what we did earlier, right? Is it faster? I feel like it's faster, yeah. I think what does net discover, what does I stand for? I takes it faster, I guess. Scan your network device. I don't know, it feels like it was like faster. Anyways, so I can't really metasploit right now because I can't find the real service behind the IP and port number. So, wait, linpiece, this is really cool. For example, if you do linpiece sh, sorry, let me try something here. Kelly, linpiece sh. What? Why is it not working? Oh wait, I got an idea. There we go. So now let's do slash. There we go. It's on the root directory. So that's what we did because we had linpiece over here in this folder. Where is it? This folder. So now we access this file. So now we're running this, the script file, and it's loading obviously. Oh man, there's so much shit. Cool. Semi-client, chmod, that's for modifying permissions. Modifying permissions. dpkj is for installing. And this is for all-in-one, I believe. And C for connecting back and forth. And exploiting is actually pretty simple when you have metasploit connected to a certain port number. Like you just use interpreter and then you'll see these commands, right? These commands in order. These ones. And you get the other computer to connect onto this. You run it on here. Once you connect, you run it on here so that way it starts the server. You get the linpiece file, you download the linpiece file from your local computer in this case, and then you would execute. So you would give it admin privileges and you execute the file, and then once it's done, you cat the txt file out, and once you cat the txt file out, you will see a lot of different vulnerabilities on the computer. That's what we're doing here. So let's say for example cyber. Am I missing anything here? I don't think I'm missing anything here. DNS recon, this is finding DNSs. And let's look up, so we're looking for DNSs behind this. So that's what we're doing here. Yeah, so these are IPv4 addresses, IPv6, IPv4. This is for the script, like I explained. Derp, so that's for, they're like busting URLs, like finding URLs. This is TCP ports, and this are UDP ports. This is for Wireshark to sort of decrypt what's going on. It's under certain, so that's for like open networks to like understand what's happening in another computer's conversation. So it's kind of nosy in that sense. Where is it? I don't know where it was, but I took it somewhere. I don't know, I kind of lost it. Go Busters is really cool, right? Anyways, you guys get the point. Yeah, you guys understand what's going on here. Search exploit, it's fine. Cool. MS of Windows is what we use for payloads, so it's this Windows payload right here. It's for Windows computers, but if it was for Linux computers, it would be a little different. You would use like a script at the end of this rather than exe files. This is for timing. Oh wait, it's not T/4, I think it's like, you do T4, like with min. So it's like, if you do, that's T4, like this. Alright, so you just give it as a flag, that's what it is. So let's say like nmap. Okay, so let's say nmap top ports 1000 portsfactory.com a, and then you give it as T4, the speed of execution. That's what we have over here. That's T4, aggressive. It's gonna be quick. And if I hit the, yeah, it's gonna take some time, but it's gonna be faster. So anyways, escalate privileges. This is pretty simple. So this is for Linux and this is for Windows, obviously. And DNS recon once again. Right, the usual stuff. So we're executing everything together over here. So you see our host. Our host, we need to set it to which. So if we execute this on our remote computer, obviously this is going to be set, and it's executing the payload. This is the payload, and this is the exploit that we're sending over. This itself won't do it. Right. Who am I? Who am I is like to see who I am on the computer. So let's say if I do, say over here, if I do who am I, that's root. I'm root on this computer. But if I do normal terminal, if I do who am I, Kali. It's for DNSs, so you can look for DNSs under certain IP, a certain URL. Cool. Interesting stuff. It's for certain exploits. Look at that. Cool. It's really nice. Everything's sort of documented and everything's really like cool. I like it. So everything is easy in that sense. ARP. SQL map, so this is for SQL attacks. So let's say for example if I do SQL map, I don't think I can execute it here, so I just do SQL map help. We got a lot of different commands under SQL attacks. So you can use different tags, different flags and execute. So for example U for URLs, and you get the point. So this is with IDs for example, so it's easier to find which database it's coming from. For example, if I show you SQL map and then current, I think it was U. Yeah, this is the from an ID. This is which current DB it's coming from, and it's a. I can just dump. So whatever. It's connecting to a database. Let's say. It seems like error code detected during. If I run it again, if I do end this time, it might be a little closer. I don't know. Seems like it's okay. It's going to an error. Try and increase values, right? Anyways, seems like there's a pretty good protection for the databases and stuff. That's pretty good. This is for John the Ripper if you want to decrypt certain text files, for example. So if I do ls, what's inside forex.txt? John, and say show, and then say forex.txt. Okay, so nothing to be cracked over here. What's in diddy.txt now? Okay, nothing to be cracked here either. If I run it on, I just want to see. Yeah, there's nothing to be cracked. It's like brute force, like cracking through passwords and stuff. You'll get like a few passwords, so that way it's easier to hack through like databases and stuff, and like log into other people's accounts. So devious. These are different sources and stuff, grabbing IPs. So these are different commands that could be executed one after the others. This one's first, and then this is the second, and then this is the third, right here. Just so to grab data. Right, these are usual stuff. Anyways, guys, it was a pretty fun session of just learning, improvising a bit. It wasn't really the best session, to be honest. But anyways, I hope you guys understood something. We didn't really take any new notes today, but yeah, I hope you guys understood what we were looking at. I think we can run sudo l. Kali. Right, so if I do sudo l here. What? I don't get this. Am I supposed to do this? I don't know. Anyways, let me show you guys something else. Over here, for example, this is the usual stuff that I show you guys. This is to like download this, use wget over here. And if you want to upload a link piece to a target system. But you can use wget for that as well, if you specify the path. This is multiple files, mget. So, cyber mget is used to download multiple files. Anyways, let me. Yeah, everything's Gucci from here. Top lister, open ports, MSF console, exploits on the ports, exploit, exactly. So you get meterpreter once it's done, and you continue from there. These are the IPs under a certain URL. This is IPv6 over here. This is the difference between the two. 128-bit IPv6 and 148-bit for MAC addresses. DNSs. IPv4, IPv6, IPv4, IPv6, and this is the different servers. These are, I bet this is the port number. Yeah, this is the MS stuff. This is what I'm talking about over here, this one. The sticks for DNSs and stuff. Querying, right. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys understood what's going on here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I just, let's see what happens next. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys. So ExploitDB is like one of the websites I can also exploit DB for finding exploits for finding database exploits, ExploitDB. So for example, that's for Drupal 7 over here on ExploitDB. That's what this is specifically. And yeah, I hope you guys understood what this is for GoBuster. So this is the word list right here. That's what we're giving here. This is the URL. This is, I believe, operating system. I don't know. What does GoBuster O stand for? Sorry. What does O stand? Okay, output string. Also, if you're printing into this file, I believe. Right, so it's a GoBuster there. W and what's W? Word list. Okay, so word list. And then it's a URL. Okay, U. That's cool. I don't see a U here though. So for example, U, rxfactory.com, and then say for example O, which is the output. And let me create another file. So for example, let's say cd into desktop. I'm going to create a folder called LMAO, and inside LMAO, I'm going to create a file called test.txt. And I'm going to give it, actually, no, I don't need administrative permissions. So I'm going to, where is it? No, it's not this file. Test, and there we go. So I drag and drop this. That should do the job, I think. 404. I think if I just cat this file, it's probably gonna show me nothing. Yeah, that's so sad. Okay, but that was basically what he did over here. So it's kind of sad how it didn't work. If I do HTTP on here, would that work? HTTP. Cool. It's not working either. So I hate my life. That's fun. 5 o'clock right now. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's 5 a.m. as you can see on the bottom right hand corner. So yeah, that's fun. And yeah, I'm gonna head to sleep, guys. See you guys later. Peace out.